Your bank account knows things about you that your therapist doesn't. You say you're budgeting, but why does your money vanish like it's in witness protection? Today we're breaking down the exact mindset and moves to financially disappear and rebuild from scratch, without faking your death or moving to a cabin in Montana. Hey there, let's talk about how to disappear and transform yourself. But not in the I'm going off-grid to drink rainwater kind of way. More like, imagine your cousin Bob just got paid and somehow, by Tuesday, he's already asking if you do Cash App loans. You've probably met a Bob. Or maybe, you are Bob. No shame, we've all been there. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Bob didn't blow his paycheck on a yacht. He didn't even buy anything cool. He just evaporated it. $7 here, $14 there. A spontaneous, treat-yourself moment. A subscription he forgot existed since season 3 of Stranger Things. And the wildest part, Bob still feels broke, but also kinda like he deserved all of it. This is the paradox. You want to disappear from the version of you that keeps living on financial autopilot. But you also don't want to become a boring spreadsheet zombie. So what do? You transform strategically, and it starts with your identity. Step 1. Stop being that person. You know the one. That person who says, I'm just bad with money. I'm not a numbers person. I'll figure it out later. This person is your financial clone from the bad timeline. If you're always waiting for motivation or a raise or a cosmic sign to change. Surprise, that's how time travel works in reverse. You stay stuck. Let me tell you a quick story. A girl named Jordan had a job, rent, and a sneaker habit. One day she realized her checking account was just a holding cell. Money came in, money broke out. She didn't budget, she didn't plan, she just hoped. And hope, as it turns out, is not a strategy. It's a hostage negotiation with your future. But then, she made one weird decision. She ghosted her own lifestyle. And no, she didn't move to the woods. She just stopped playing the role of modern broke girl with aesthetic Instagram stories. What did she do instead? We'll get to that, but first let's talk about what disappearing really means. Step 2, burn the budget, build the blueprint. Here's a hot take. Most budgets suck. They're rigid. They're guilt-trippy. They're like that gym trainer who yells at you for breathing wrong. Let's say it loud. Budgets don't work when they're based on shame. Instead, you need a blueprint. Something that feels like a strategy, not a punishment. Imagine if your money was a squad of tiny employees. You're the boss. Would you just yell, everybody save, and walk away? Or would you give each dollar a job, assign your money before it ghosts you? That's the trick. And if you're thinking, but I don't even make that much, that's exactly why you need this. The less you make, the more every dollar counts, and every wasted one hurts twice. Pause for a sec, open your bank app. Yes, right now. How much did you spend on delivery this week? Comment below with your total if you're brave, or just type ouch. Step 3, the disappearance phase, aka the quiet reset. Okay, this is where things get juicy. Let's say you want to hit reset without announcing it to everyone. No, I'm deleting social media post. No, I'm on a money journey t-shirt. You just quietly stop feeding the algorithm. You unsubscribe, you delay gratification. You tell your friends, can't make it, working on something. You become boring on purpose. And in that boredom, you find power. It's like when your friend goes to the gym for 2 weeks and suddenly stops posting mirror selfies. That's when you know they're actually serious. Financial transformation is the same. You don't need a no-spend badge. You need silence, intention, and the bravery to miss out temporarily so you can show up powerfully later. Alice didn't mean to get frugal. Her debit card just got declined and she spiraled into panic mode. She canceled Netflix, Hulu, and Disney. And then forgot they were even gone. 2 weeks in, she realized, she hadn't just survived without them. She'd actually read a book. Wild. This accidental disappearance gave her something she hadn't had in years, peace of mind. This gets even deeper when we get into identity switching, and the uncomfortable truth about social pressure. You're not just changing spending habits, you're changing who you are when nobody's watching, and that is where the real power is. In the next part, we'll talk about how to rebuild, how to pick your new financial identity, structure your life like a secret mission, and never go broke again, even if your paycheck stays the same. But before we get there, if this feels painfully accurate, you're not alone. We've all played financial hide-and-seek with ourselves. Subscribe so we can fix our money habits together, without spreadsheets and headaches. So now you've ghosted your old spending habits. You've ditched the shame-based budgeting. You've entered what I call financial stealth mode. Now comes the fun part. Let's rebuild you into someone who doesn't just survive, but thrives quietly. Step 4. Pick your new financial identity. Alright, plot twist. You are not your past financial choices. You're not broke. You're not bad with money. You're not a Starbucks victim. You're just someone who didn't have a playbook. Let's fix that. Think of it this way. Every financial decision you make is casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be. So ask yourself, who are you becoming? Are you the type who always has just enough? Or the type who casually has a 6-month emergency fund and doesn't even talk about it? It's like going from clown car driver to undercover billionaire, but instead of buying a Lambo, you invest in socks that don't have holes. Real wealth is quiet. It's warm feet, paid bills, and not needing to borrow gas money on Friday. So how do you become that person? You start with rituals. Step 5. Rituals of the transformed. Here's the deal. Financial transformation isn't made from one huge leap. It's built from boring rituals that no one sees. Examples of quietly powerful rituals. Every Friday, you look at your bank balance, even if it hurts. Every time you get paid, you move $10 to savings before you do anything else. You check subscriptions once a month and ruthlessly cancel the May ones. You give yourself a weekly fun budget in cash, so when it's gone, it's gone. These rituals aren't loud, they're not sexy. But they build trust with yourself, because guess what? Your money problems aren't about math, they're about trust. Can future you count on present you to not go feral in a Target clearance aisle? What's one ritual you could start this week? Comment below with your idea, even if it's tiny. Spoiler, the tiny ones are the ones that work. Step 6. Build a life that's hard to fall out of. Okay, let's get deep. It's not enough to get better with money. You want to build a system so stable, so frictionless that even when life gets chaotic, you don't collapse. Think of it like this. You're not just saving money, you're building a padded room for your future self to bounce off of when life sucker punches you. Here's how to do it. 1. Automate everything you can. Bills, auto-pay, savings, auto-transfer, investments, auto-draft. If you can't trust your brain, outsource it to robots. 2. Hide money from yourself. Yes, trick yourself. Open a high-yield savings account you don't check every day. Nickname it something boring like Boring Insurance Fund. Or better, call it Unicorn Fund. Make it mysterious, make it sacred. 3. Build boring safety nets, get renter's insurance. It's like $12/month, come on. Build a flat tire fund even if you don't drive. Have backup plans for your backup plans because real power is having options. And options come from margin, and margin comes from tiny, invisible, boring decisions. Remember Jordan from part 1? She ghosted her lifestyle, started tiny rituals, and now? She's not rich, she's calm. That might sound boring, until you've lived it. Step 7. Say no, like it's a superpower. This is where most people fold. They do the rituals, they start the habits. Then comes the invite, the sale, the you deserve it moment. And suddenly, boom, $87 later, they're back at zero, holding a neon cactus lamp from TikTok. But here's your new mantra. Every no is a yes to the life you're building. You say no to brunch because you're saying yes to moving out of your mom's house. You say no to impulse sneakers because you're saying yes to not panicking when your car needs brakes. Think of your dream life like a bouncer at the club. Every no gets you closer to VIP. Every yes to something dumb, you're back in line behind Chad. Micro story, the $200 lesson. A guy named Marcus saved for 3 months, had $400 set aside. Then his friend said, "Bro, this limited drop ends in 24 hours. Marcus said yes, guess how long the hype lasted? 1 Instagram post. By Tuesday he was broke and mad at his own reflection. That moment, it taught him what FOMO really costs. But here's where it gets even better. When you master the art of disappearing from bad patterns, you suddenly start reappearing in all the right places. Your credit improves, your phone stops vibrating with debt alerts, you sleep better, you're not running away anymore, you're running your life. If any part of this hit you in the gut, if you've ever felt like your money controls you instead of the other way around, just know this. You can disappear from the chaos and re-emerge stronger, calmer, wiser, with money that listens to you, not the other way around. Hit subscribe so we can keep building that version of you together. No spreadsheets, no shame, just strategy and a little sass. So in conclusion, disappearing isn't about vanishing from society. It's about escaping the version of yourself that kept you broke, stuck, and overwhelmed. Transforming isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional and a little rebellious. If you want me to make more videos like this, breaking down money stuff nobody ever taught us, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.